Okay, everybody. Well, as we all know, tomorrow is Halloween. I mean, you'll be seeing this video on Halloween Day, but regardless. And I'm actually going to be carving the pumpkin for that. I actually did carve a pumpkin once before, back in 2018, believe it or not, so it has been a while. But thankfully, I saved a picture of it so I can always reference it whenever I need to, just to get an idea of what I need to do. And it's nothing overly fancy that I do. I basically just do what you would expect. I cut open an opening here, just so that way I can, take off the top, take out some stuff in there, and also put, we have these LED candles from the laundry room that we keep there. I'll show those to you when the time comes. So open this up, and then I usually make two triangles for like eyes, a small one for the nose area, and the mouth is basically just like a simple one. You'll see the designs once I trace them out. So what I'm going to use here is I'm going to use this, just a simple Bic pen, to mark along where I want to cut the areas. And then that steak knife there is going to be used to, I believe that's what I used last time, but we'll see, to make the areas that you want. So let me go ahead and first make a trace for the top portion that I want to get open. So with the pen, I basically just have a small area traced out here that you can see. You don't want it to be too big because you want to leave enough room where you can put the facial features on whatever you consider the front of the pumpkin. So let's go ahead and with the steak knife there, we're going to obviously be very careful with knives. And then we're just going to cut along in here and then get the top off. Now, it is important to note that when you consider the shape of the pumpkin, considering where this line is, you don't want to go straight down like this, okay? You want to kind of angle it a little bit according to the angle of the circular curves of the pumpkin, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't go straight down when you cut. Go at like an angle according to how this is shaped. And it should be a lot easier to get that part off. And as you can see, we have the top cut around for the opening. The pen line is basically just a general line of where to go. It's not going to be perfect, but basically when you use the knife, depending on what knife you use, you kind of have to go up and down in sections to get around it. That's what I did. I tried to go like continuously around, but I was having a hard time doing it, and I don't want to bend that too much. But as you can see, we'll take off the top, and yeah, this is the stuff that I always hate having to clean up. So we got the seeds and we got all this other stuff in here that we got to clean out to make the facial features. And this actually still looks pretty fresh inside. But of course, once you open a pumpkin and expose it, to the air, the amount of time it's going to last is a lot shorter. So that's why it's good to do this a lot closer to Halloween Day. So all right, so what I'll do is I'll go ahead and clean this out the best I can, and then we'll go ahead and make the or rather trace out the facial part of the pumpkin. And as usual, here's Bella making her appearance in the videos, of course. And there's Marco over there in the sunroom. All right, so anyway, yeah, so basically, here's all the seeds and stuff that I cleaned out. You can see for the most part I got the inside of the pumpkin pretty well cleaned out, as you can see. And yes, and this will just fit whichever way it went on. Oh, just like that. All right. So now what we'll do is I have my 2018 picture to reference, just to get an idea of how to make the facial feature on the pumpkin again. And then, so what I'll do is I'll take a look at the picture, then I'll trace it out with a pen, and then we will see, I'll show you what it looks like all traced out, and then I'll show it to you all carved out. Okay, I think this is a pretty good traced out facial example we got here. So here's the two eyes, just some simple triangles with the pen, all right, little nose right there. Mouth area, I'd say, looks pretty good like that. It's always a good idea to trace it in the sense that it might look a little bit too small because, if you think it's too small, you could always make it larger. But if it's too large, well, then you're stuck. So it's not a bad idea to make it a little bit smaller. And I think this pumpkin is a little bit larger than the one in 2018, so that might be why this is looking a little bit smaller than the 2018 one did. But I mean, I'm pretty happy with this because it still has much of the structure of the pumpkin while it's still fresh. So I think that might be a good idea to keep it that way. All right, so here's basically the rough trace that I'm going to do with the knife. So then, so now I'll just go ahead and cut all this out and get these, be careful on the teeth area. Of course, there is a line where I won't be cutting, but I mean, it's going to be in the middle of the night when this thing's lit up, and honestly, who's really going to look at it? People are just coming to the door for candy, right? All right, so let me just go ahead and then cut this out, carefully get it all nice and set up, and hopefully it'll look all nice and good. Well, if I'm honest, that's actually not too bad. The only thing is, I never realized just how. I did make this a little bit longer, but I never realized just how thick this pumpkin was. So I might actually end up making these just a little bit. These three things just a little bit larger, so that way when I put the LED candles inside, a little bit more light comes through, and they'll see it from the outside. But that's actually not too bad for it's only a one-day thing. But the way that looks so far, I'm pretty happy with it. But let me see if I can just make these three things a little bit larger, and then we'll see how it looks afterwards. Well, as it turns out, I completely forgot to show you the larger traced areas. But as you can see, that looks much better now. I just made each section a little bit larger, and yeah, I am very content with that. And just gets the hanging stuff in there, whatever. But honestly, I'm not an artist, so for someone who's not an artist, I think this is pretty impressive work, if I may say. So yeah, I'll have to clean this. Is that part of the top piece? It is. Just get that out of there, okay. So what I'll do now is, here's the LED candles, by the way. Has a nice mechanical switch. And basically, that's just what it does. So I'll go ahead and put 3 of these in there. Maybe I'll move it to the center kitchen island, hit the lights, and we'll see how it looks. But honestly, I'm very happy with that design. I think it's going to look great for tomorrow. All right, so let me go ahead and get this on the counter, and then put the candles in and see how it looks. Now that looks awesome. That is really nicely lit up for when it's going to be at the front door tomorrow. I actually did notice that it looks like the left one is a little bit smaller than the right one, but I kind of like that. It's almost like it's doing like a half wink or something like that. Yeah, I'm going to leave it alone. I like how that is. But yeah, so I got the 3 LED candles in there, and just by the way that looks, that's going to look awesome for tomorrow, definitely. So I'll probably be on for about, once it gets dark out, until 9 or 10 o'clock. I figure by that point people will be done, especially because it's a school night tomorrow. So doesn't affect me anymore, which is nice. But I'm sure for other people trick-or-treating and everything, it's going to be around that time where they're going to finish for the night. So that looks freaking sweet. I love the way it's carved, and and definitely making the nose a little bit bigger too was a good idea. And I just love the way that the pumpkin is showing lit up like that. That's really going to look awesome for tomorrow. Very happy with that. All right, and there you guys go. So now it's all carved, lit up, before so you could see it. And all set to go for tomorrow. I think this is going to look fantastic for the day tomorrow. How many trick-or-treaters are we going to get? It varies. We get like maybe, I think one year we had maybe about 10 or so. I don't know if there's anything special about this year, but we'll see what happens when tomorrow happens, once I get home from work. So there you guys go. So carving a pumpkin really isn't all that hard. It just takes, a little bit of tracing, some patience, and like I said, I'm not an artist. So you definitely don't need to be an artist to do something like this. And I am very pleased with how this came out. So yeah, again, I didn't show you the second tracing, but I don't think you guys really mind all that much. But yeah, so this will be out. I'll put it out tonight, and it's supposed to be cooler tonight. So hopefully that keeps it, going for a little bit longer. I'm sure it'll be fine for today and tomorrow, but I'm sure beyond that is when it's going to start wearing out, and probably by the time the trash comes, I can get rid of it. But yeah, I'm very pleased with this. So that's more or less how you carve a pumpkin. Like I said, all you need is just something to cut it with, and just a pen to trace what you want to do. And as you can see, really comes out good. Simple triangles really are just a good way to go about this, I would say. It's really good as to how that all comes out. So anyway, hope you guys like that. Little sort of how to carve a pumpkin, and hopefully it helped you a little bit. But I'm sure there's other videos that you can watch if you want to go into more details about carving a pumpkin. But there you go, all set for tomorrow. So thanks for watching. Take care, and happy Halloween.